Is there anything better than getting the perfect gift for Christmas that you're going to use every single day? In no particular order, we're going to go through a couple of the items that I use every single day. I'm an electrical inspector, and these are some of the items that I use for inspecting, but we're also going to be showing you some really good gift ideas. The first one is something that I picked up from Amazon, and these are the Ox boots. OUXX is the brand here. And Amazon has that 7-day trial period thing where there's really no risk. They have a zipper. When I look at boots, I almost don't even look at laces as an option. But what's pretty cool about these is that I can actually lace these up. I wear them just like this every day. So I leave them laced typically. And you can see that's fairly tight. Even with this Velcroed here, you can still zip it out of the way. And we should be able to get this boot on my left foot with it laced up. And I can zip it up with one hand here. It is on. So the same thing, if I'm going into someone's house and I need to take my boots off because it's raining or something, you can see how muddy they are. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons of these. But if I want to take my boots off, I pull that Velcro up, I zip it off, and they come right off. And that is pretty cool because I love a good pull-on boot. And I really don't like laces. But when you're in the field and you need the ankle support and you want something with laces, or you're spending a bunch of money on boots that have a lot of support and a lot of features, but they're like $200, $250. These are less than $100 right now. And they got that 7-day trial on Amazon. Now, what I don't like about them is for inspections, they carry a lot of mud. That's good and bad, right? They're going to have a lot of traction for you. But for me, when it's raining outside, I will switch to my other boots. But other than that, I'm pretty much wearing these every single day. And they are very comfortable. They're comfortable all day long. They've just been really, really good. So we've got the laces. They've got leather on the back. That's nice and padded here. The toe on the front is a really nice touch. I remember when I first got on the field, I would take spray-on bed liner from Walmart. I would tape a line across and I would spray the spray-on bed liner to protect the toes of my boots, because once your toe falls out, you're pretty much getting new boots. It's not often that you wear this part of your boots out as an electrician. So protecting your toe is pretty huge. Yeah, they're pretty good. This is what they look like in black. For me, I wear jeans and a lot of dark stuff anyway. I prefer the brown color. But they're steel toe, they're full grain leather, rubber sole, ASTM F2413-8. 12 is my size, and 12 is comfortable. I'm actually going to put these on right now, because they're actually pretty decent for winter. They're not cold and they're not hot. They're just right. We've had some warm Octobers. We're getting into the colder months. They are definitely warmer than my pull-on Ariats, which is usually my go-to. But you can see real time, they are on and comfortable. They basically just slip on. Pretty nice. Next up, as an inspector, you're going to need a tape measure. You don't have to be too precise when you're doing inspections. So for surveying and stuff, the Bosch is just fine. The downside of this Bosch is that it's really hard to see during the day. And somebody sent me this, so it's more sentimental than anything. And it gets the job done. If you're outside and you need something else, get you something else. But Bosch is the way to go when it comes to laser tape measures. I open panels every day. Now, Skil makes 2 different drivers. They have one with USB-C and has an articulating head. I'm not even going to show it on camera. It's terrible. Do not get it. You want this one here. It's like an extension of your hand. This right here, the thumb button, is forward and reverse. And then it's got a special feature here with NCV. So NCV is non-contact voltage sensing. And it's built in this tool, which is great if you're doing electrical inspection. So you can see here where this is energized. It keeps you that much safer. You never know what you're rolling up on. Is the wire hot or not? You're doing an inspection. Just a really, really good handy tool. And it actually works like a screwdriver. It's not boxy. It's not square in your hand. It's actually round. It acts like a real screwdriver. You basically break the fastener free, and then you're free to turn whichever direction that you want. Then, of course, we've got our Klein here. Now, Klein hasn't really given me any confidence with the handles themselves. But we'll see in the future what's going on. But if you don't know, Klein's handles seem to be slipping. But credits where it's due, Klein has a really good driver here with assorted bits. And they pop right out, and they're like a true fit bit where they're just made for the size of fastener, and they fit very well. We got this carousel of bits, which keeps all my bits in place. And these kind of go hand in hand with each other. I keep these in my pocket when I go do panel inspections, and I've got every size that I need. If I want to keep the screwdriver, it's got a nice ratchet here. This also has retention on it, so you're able to slide this down and pull the bit out and then release it, and then you can pop the bit back in just like that. So we got a little work light too, which brings me to my work light. So this is the Olight. This is the Seeker 4. What's really nice about this flashlight is I've got a lot of things in my pocket, including phones. Aluminum on phones tends to get scratched up very easily. I chose blue for the specific reason so I wouldn't lose it, because it's not black. It seems like everything black in my car just disappears in between the seat and the console. This has 4,200 lumens, I believe, on tap. It's got multiple settings, and it is a very bright light that lasts for weeks without charging with how much I use it. So it's really nice. The case also is a charger, so you can see down there that it's got the metal down there for the charging, and then the USB-C will charge this, or you can snap it to the back of the magnet just like all of the other Olights. Really, really nice option for lights when it comes to everyday carry items. I keep a knife on me usually, and this is going to be the SOG, I believe the world's thinnest assisted knife. What that means is that it has a little spring that helps this thing flip out. You can see where I can't pull this out right now, but if I pull this tab down like that, we can now release the knife. So this locks open and shut. And if we throw this hard enough and we kind of hold right here, we can throw this out because it has a little spring on it. And the knife is out. You can see just how thin the knife is. So it's almost disappearing in your pocket. And then we can lock the blade shut, which is a huge feature because you hear about people trying to cut or do whatever they're doing, and then the knife closes on their finger. This locks in the open position, which makes it a really nice everyday carry situational knife where if you have to do something, the knife's not going to close on you, and you're that much safer. And then of course the back is the release to get the thing closes again. So this is kind of the self-assist action here. Just kind of throw it and you can see where it wants to launch up. But to really get it to lock, you can see where you have to actually throw it like that. I think I got this one at Academy, but I'm going to try to put all the links down below for Amazon and other places. Maybe YouTube will put their own links on here. Who knows? There's definitely going to be the link for the Ox boots. I know those are from Amazon. We had the Vera screwdrivers up. They are a very nice driver. They have laser etching on the tip there, if that's something that you're into. And the fit is really nice. It fits most people's hands. You got to adjust the way that you hold them, but they are pretty comfortable. And they've got nice grooves, and they've got flats here for anti-roll. I think I prefer the Weoz more, but man, it's a really good looking set. Sitting here, it's a really, really good set. For any professional, it's a great set for a homeowner. It's like 30 bucks. We had the Knipex out here. This has got to be one of the best buys that I've ever done in my life when it comes to trying out a tool and then it just being a complete win. I found these in 2008 and they've just been a hit for everybody. I keep a small pair, EDC style, in this pocket, as well as some other goodies. See if we can find them here. I'm gonna be in this pocket. I think I used them today to remove an acorn clamp on a ground rod because electrical contractors like to cheat and they cut the ground rods like 3 foot long instead of 8. And I loosened the clamps and pulled the whole rod out just to show them, hey, buddy, I know your rod is not 8 foot long. So these are really compact but very powerful for their size. And it's something that I keep on me ever since I found all those cheaters. Next up is going to be a crayon. Now, it's not just any crayon. This is twistable, and it's a colored pencil, and it's good for marking plans and stuff. It will never dry out. If it gets washed, it's no big deal, and it just sits in my pocket, and the lead can't break because it retracts. And it's something that I use to mark plans instead of like maybe a Sharpie or something. So I probably also got a Sharpie in here. I have a Sharpie, it usually hangs around my lanyard with my ID on it, and it just hangs there, and that's really good for markups. So this stays on my lanyard typically and not in my pocket. I don't leave things in my pocket like this. It doesn't really matter if they get washed. I've also got some Wagos and some wire, and this is something that I've recently started keeping on me. Usually it's in this bag, but it's at least with me in my car or somewhere. And we all know what Wagos are. These are the 221s, and they're lever action. And if you're looking for the perfect gift for the DIY person in your life, Wagos, you can't go wrong with Wagos because they're just guaranteed to be a good connection no matter what level of experience you have in the field. Basically, your emergency light will turn on when power fails in that area, so it's never dark in that area. And a little jumper goes a long way when explaining that, because you can open up the panel, you can take two circuits that are not tied with each other, put them underneath two of the spots of the Wago, and then add one piece of wire to one single breaker to tie all of it together. So I keep this on me now to help electricians out. Sometimes it's late in the day, they're trying to get their final, and all they need is a wire nut and a short piece of wire, and that's all they need. So not that I'm doing any electrical work for anybody, but I've got the stuff so they can get it done. Just a way of helping. Also, it helps explain visually what they need to do. Now, when it comes to plug testers, there's one you should buy and one you should not buy. Basically, anything with batteries is not good for an inspector because you never know if the battery is going to be reliably connected. And then also, we're in all kinds of environments in our pockets. We're in damp and humid situations, and this thing gets a lot more use than your typical contractor checking whatever they just wired. An electrical inspector is going to plug in more than 100 times a day and push this button. Even when they're not testing, they're just going to walk around pushing the button. So the button gets pushed twice as much as it gets plugged in. Trust me. Batteries is not a really good option for an inspector. However, this plug tester does tell you how many milliseconds it took to trip and has a little bit more information. It's easier to read, but it's a lot bigger. So certain covers and stuff, it just gets really bulky. You want the smallest plug tester available. Pick this one up at Lock Supply, and it is the Gardner Bender one, but Sperry makes a really nice one that's low profile. Klein makes some. There's a number of different plug testers. Just what's special about the GFCI tester is that it has the button and we can check GFCIs with it. This is kind of a little device that basically helps you line up your conduit with the first bend you just made. So if you made a bend up here and you put your bubble on there while everything's bent, when you roll your conduit around, you line up this bubble. It's supposed to help you line up your next bend with your last bend, basically. And what a lot of electricians will do, pretty much all of them, is this goes on the back of their hard hat right here. Just like that, and it just sits there. And that's what it does until you need it. And then you put it back on your hat. And it just sits there forever, and you forget it's even there until you need it. You get this for an electrician, especially one starting out. It will increase the chances of him getting to run the hydraulic bender a little bit sooner because he's got the tools required to do it, and it shows that he's willing to learn. So if you got somebody that is more into an industrial side or a heavier commercial electrical company, get them one of these no dogs. That's what they're called. You can go and actually get a real no dog. I don't know what they call this thing, what Milwaukee is even going to call this, but the original thing is called a no dog because it stops dog legs, basically. And that's the trade term. Klein also makes one, but it is freaking huge. So nice that Milwaukee has one that's a little bit tinier. This is one that I've recently added to the mix. It's basically a 10-in-1, but it folds. So they call it the 10-fold. And everyone knows what a 10-in-1 is. But this folds. There's no sharp edges. This folds in, so you no chance of cutting your leather seats or damaging any personal property or finishes while you're walking around. So nice option there. Good for an inspector, especially if you're climbing ladders, getting on roofs. Increases the chance of you having a screwdriver in your pocket just to show those electricians you in fact did not install the proper screw. You used a self-tapper and you suck. I'm going to unscrew your screw in front of you to show you that I know you used a self-tapper. And yes, it has a 5/16. So this bag is kind of cool. It is a carry bag. It has options for carrying things for every day. Has the Velcro there. This doesn't even fully zip up. it Velcros shut, so it's kind of always ready to go. It's got the cross strap. It's got a number of different pockets. It's got drainage on the bottom, and it holds a number of different things. Like a tiny impact to remove covers and stuff. If you're looking at really big stuff, transformers, things like that, or if you're opening a lot of panels, or it can just hold all this stuff, and it's got enough pockets to where it's going to protect every individual item with little screens and stuff separately, so nothing's getting scratched. And then of course the phone. We carry the Samsung Flip 6, and it's a really nice phone. It's got really nice speakers. Battery life is better than all the other flips before it. I don't have to charge this thing as soon as I get home. Full day of work, I've still got 57% battery. Usually I've got about 15 on all the predecessors before this. So really, really nice option. Really, really good looking phone. It's got a huge screen on it, and it's very durable. What's guaranteed to break on it is the folding area where you actually get the crease there. If you get a Shurion or something like that, one of those phone insurance companies, it's like $10, $15 a month. As many times as I'm folding this thing and opening and shutting it, glass is not meant to fold. So it's guaranteed to break. When it does, you call a Shurion for $100, they send you another phone or an upgrade. I started with the 3, now I have the 6. I paid for a 3. I got 4 different 3s. I went from a 5 to a 6. So 5 free phones later, paying the insurance, of course, I'm upgraded all the way to the 6. So really good option. A lot of people think that when they break their phone, they got to go buy the newest one. If you get the Shurion, you're either going to get an upgrade or you're going to get the same phone or something comparable. So I do recommend that. That's what's been working for me for the last forever, actually. Let me know in the comments below, do you guys prefer lace up or do you guys prefer the pull-on boots? Because these boots here are the best of both worlds. There's no exaggeration there. You see how easy they come on and off. The grip is really good. The welt, the bend, everything about them is good so far. We'll do a 6-month update on these if you guys want. Remind me. And we'll see you guys on the next one.